and welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with WV. This is episode number 7. As always, I'd like to remind you that all the earlier episodes are available on the handles of Hindu on the Sports Star. And for those who prefer to listen to the conversations and the various other things that I talk about, you're always welcome to log on to Buzzsprout for you to listen to this fantastic conversations and my views about other topics. What have I got for you on this episode? My guest on this episode was a swashbuckling batter, a World Cup winner, and he's had many influential roles in cricket. More than his accomplishments and his achievements, what is endeared him to everybody else is his warm and friendly disposition. It's my pleasure to present you Sandeep Patil, the one and only charismatic cricketer of the bygone era. Sandy, welcome to you.
Thanks, WA. First of all, Durga Puja and Navratri greetings to you and to all our listeners.
Thank you very much. And it was interesting looking back at your career. You made a terrific impact, but the span in terms of time is very short. That's a bit of a surprise to me because I thought you played longer than the numbers show in terms of years. Your career in terms of tests was 4 years and one day was 6 years. I'm sure you could have played a lot more international cricket.
Short and sweet, WA, always good. Always goes well with me.
No, but the fact was that, I had the impression that you obviously played quite a lot, but those days not many test matches were played in a year. That also contributed to this, wasn't it?
Well, WA, first of all, I thank BCCI and all the selectors for picking me, for giving me this chance. There's so many, I know, there's so many thousands of them. They dream of playing for their clubs first, then for the states, and then for your country. I think I was fortunate that I got picked and I got this chance. Very happy, no regrets, no complaints.
Of course, knowing Sandy, there'll be no regrets. I'll come to that later. But the important thing was that your career and you as a person was obviously defined more by the way you responded after the injury in Australia, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was something which I would like to forget. And why you are reminding me about that?
No, what
It's
is
all
specific
over.
about it was it is not easy to make the kind of comeback you did after getting injured on a tour. And it didn't take too long. It was probably the same test match or the next test match. That was terrific.
Well, modern day cricket, WA, small injury, small niggle, and you go to NCA for rehab. Those days, nothing of that sort were there. And I thank Sunil Gavaskar for showing faith in me after that head injury. And the best thing he did was allowing me to bat in the second innings after that injury, which was after 2 days of that injury. I think that change, or maybe that, brought me back. To be very honest, being a human, I was damn scared. I didn't wanted to face and who Dennis Lilly and company. But thanks to Sunil, there a lot of talk, there are a lot of criticism on Sunil asking me to come to bat in the second innings when India had no chance of winning or even drawing. But he just wanted me to take the field and face Dennis Lilly. The two ball I faced, the first he bowled a bouncer, as expected. I was dropped by Doug Walters in the third slip, 4 runs. Oh wow! Everybody was up in the stands. Second ball again followed with another bouncer. I, just jabbed and was out. And I really don't know you know, what to say. I personally felt that I ran away. I was scared, and that was not what the Bombay boys are famous for. And while going back to the dressing room after getting out in the second innings, I was talking to myself. This was not what was expected. This was not what I should have done. But again, Sunil was the one who not only clapped from the dressing room, he came to receive me at the boundary line, and his words that you face the Dennis Lilly again. I think not many captains would do that, especially in the current the modern day cricket. But it was Sunil who took that decision, and it appeared to be the right one.
Sunil Gavaskar was a lot more than a captain and a colleague to you, wasn't he?
Yes, of course, that big brother. WB in our days, there was no managers. Managers to be changed every match. There was no physio. There was no support staff. We had just one manager, wing commander Durani, and assistant manager, of course, late Bapu Nadkarni. Otherwise, captain was everything to you. Captain was a guide, philosopher, coach, everything. And what captain said, you had to just accept. You don't raise a voice. There are no question marks. There are no questions asked. If captain wanted you to do something, you better do it, and that's what we followed.
You came back, made a swashbuckling knock of 160 odd. How difficult was it after the injury for you to come to terms with the fact that I need to go and bat there again? Psychologically, how tough was it?
Yeah, it was tough. Of course, now it's many more years back what happened. But I think the best thing what my father advised. When I made a call after coming back to the hotel, he said that don't forget you are a Shivaji Park cricketer, you are a Bombay cricketer. Don't shy away, don't run away. I think that registered in my mind that come what may, I will not shy away, which I did in the second innings after getting out on four by defending a bouncer from Dennis Lilly. So I made up my mind. I said, let them bowl as many bounces. I'm going to not duck, but I'm going to go for it. And to my surprise, WV, Dennis Lilly did not bowl a bouncer till I reached my 100. Now, not many people know that after the injury, Lenny Pascoe hit me on my left ear. He had he had come out and has gone on record that he said that I will never ever bowl a bouncer again in his remaining Test career. And you'll be shocked that next two matches that I played, Adelaide when I scored 100 and Melbourne, which we won first time in Australia, he did not bowl a bouncer. Dennis Lilly also, maybe how they try to play on your minds. That maybe he was thinking that I was expecting bouncer, every ball a bouncer. So, and I was expecting a bouncer, but they did not bowl. And it was a big surprise, but that gave me time to settle down. And as the luck would have it, I got my runs, I got all my shots. And I don't know, I still don't believe that I have 100 against Dennis Lilly, Rodney Hogg, and Lenny Pascoe.
A bit later, you also had another memorable knock against England where you really smashed Bob Willis.
It so happened that 1982 England series second test match at Old Trafford, I was going through a very, very lean and bad patch, mainly because of my personal life. And mind you, after first test, I was dropped. Gulam Parkar was picked. We lost that test match. And that evening, I went to Sunil and said, Sunil, I wanted to retire. It did not happen that time. Even before that, in 81 series, when this problem started, my personal problem started, Polly Umbrikar was chairman selection committee at Chennai, at your ground, playing against England. That series, I again went to selection committee and said that, I'm not, ready to play test cricket. And I handed over a letter, saying that I don't want to play test cricket. Polly Umbrikar tore that letter in front of me. Sunil was sitting there and said, no, don't worry. We will give you time. You take your time. When you're ready, you let us know. Which was so nice, which was so great for me. And then after a few months, I got myself back on the road. And then 82 series, as I mentioned earlier, that first test match was bad. And I went to Sunil, and Sunil said, all these years you worked hard, you dreamt of playing for India, and now it's a chance. I'm giving you a chance. My average then remember, WV, in our days, it was not a 15-day tour or a 20-day tour. It used to be 2 months, 3 months tour. So there were enough county games before or after every test match. And all the county games that happened during 82 tour, I averaged 4.5 only. And even after that average, a captain picks someone like me, give me a chance, saying that no, you have to take the field, you have to take the guard, which I think very rare in modern day cricket. But again, thanks to Sunil, he gave me that chance. He took me out for a dinner. He had a nice word with me, and he said that Ashok Malhotra had failed. So he said, "You are playing tomorrow, and Ashok is not playing." And mind you, when Sunil announced the team, Rajbhai was our manager. Not many people, I shouldn't be naming, not many people were happy with Sunil's decision. But well, it's a history. I was lucky to get 100 and also lucky to hit 6 fours of Bob Willis. One was a no ball. It was a 7 ball over. And you know that be it a gully cricket or whichever friendly games, you don't plan hitting every ball. And particularly when Bob Willis is bowling to you, but it just happened. Things do happen, and I think it was my day. It was I was lucky, and not knowing many people WV know that I was out to Phil Edmonds' bat pad when I started my inning, and there was Cook, I think Jeff Cook or someone, England's opening batsman. He took a catch, but no appeal from Phil Edmonds, no appeal from the wicketkeeper Bob Taylor, or no appeal from Cook, and I survived. So these things are very, very important in life. Not many people know this.
Anyway, what people remember is that fantastic scintillating 100 you made. Now it's too serious. Sandy means there has to be some, fun and laughter. I believe you had that bat with you. You showed everybody this is the mark where I hit Lenny Pascoe. This is the mark where I hit Bob Willis. Is it true or is it just made up?
No, 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 no. It is a made up story. You don't do this. You at in our era, we never did this. Not you, not me, not our colleagues.
You were perceived as a happy-go-lucky person. Was that really you, or was that something that you put up to ease the pressure and let go of the tension?
Well, if you want to declare a rummy, if you have a joker in your pack, it becomes easy. So I played that role as a joker because I was like that from beginning of my career. Even today, I like to mix around. I like to joke around. I like to have a nice happy life, which I did during my playing days also. It didn't go well. If you ask me that, I was not focused. I never had any goals. Whereas Sunil Gavaskar, Mohinder Amarnath, Vishwanath, Dilip Vengsarkar, Kapil Dev, there's so many seniors. They played many more test matches and well deserved. I played only 29 test matches, and I blame myself because I was not serious. I was not focused.
But you done well. You made a huge impact. The tour of Pakistan towards the end of 82 was a tough one, wasn't it? Reverse swing was something that the entire world suddenly sat up and took notice, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think 82 and also 84 Pakistan tour. Both any tour is tough. Whether you're playing at home, any series, if I may say, it's tough in Test cricket because what is Test cricket? It's a test of your caliber, your test of your temperament, your test of everything. So that tour was very hard because it was new. The reverse swing was new. And I remember a Karachi test match, second test match, Imran got Jimmy and Vishy out on 2 balls. And I was to go next to save the hat trick. And mind you, those days there was no ICC code of conduct or ICC watching or, whatever you say. Javed Meandad, when I entered the ground, Javed Meandad came to boundary line, escorted me from boundary line to the crease. And what he was talking, I had just signed the movie, Kabhi Ajnabi The. What he was talking to me, how sledging is done. You have to learn from Javed Mian. He did not abuse me. He did not said a single bad word. He was only praising me. Oh, kya lagta hai yaar, mila Excel. इधर कैमेला लगाया है, उधर heroin खड़ी है, and all this nonsense. He kept on telling me. I said, I'm going to save the hat trick, and this guy, and what to complain? What should I say to umpire or for that matter anyone? He was praising me, and it happened till I took my guard. He was still standing there at Silly Point and talking to me. Hey, makeup खराब हो गया तेरा, थोड़ा इधर makeup करना चाहिए. Imagine, is it possible in today's era or in modern day cricket? But that was like that, and I survived. That over. But again, Imran got me out. But that series was tough because they had developed this reverse swing, and that caught us. Entire team. We could not, read that even swing. Not only Imran Khan, all the bowlers, including Sarfraz, uh, Tahir, Nakash, all those were there in that team.
Of course, Javed was a character and he remains so as well. Now, the World Cup obviously is something that everybody does not want to forget, and rightfully so. You played a great hand in the semi final with your dear old friend, the late Yashpal Sharma.
Yeah, it was not only me. If you look at the World Cup, all the games, again, we had three practice games, one against minor county, one against New Zealand, and one against Sri Lanka. And mind you, we had lost all three games. We had no hopes. What Chika, our dear friend Shrikant, keeps saying that we were gone on a holiday, that was rubbish. He had planned a US trip after the 83 World Cup. That was also wrong. Only Chika and a wife, they were booked. None of the other players were booked. He keeps telling me that entire team was on a holiday. When you go for the World Cup, it's not a holiday. It's a serious cricket. But after losing these three games, Kapil was brilliant as a captain. He said that never mind, we have nothing to lose. We put our best foot forward and try our best. Let's see. And it so happened that first game against West Indies at Old Trafford, we beat a fabulous inning by Yashpal Sharma. And then again, you mentioned semi-finals. The if you see our run in that World Cup '83, everybody performed. It was not one guy performing and others supporting. Every match there was a different hero, different man of the match. What I mean to say is we played as a team. We contributed as a team, be it bowling, be it fielding, be it but don't mention me as a fielder, but uh, you know uh, everybody chipped in at the right time. And the twist, people say that Kapil Dev's 175 was the game changer. Of course, it was. It was one of the best, one of the controlled aggression inning, I would say. And we were lucky to saw it because there was an industrial dispute. There was no TV coverage. After that inning, of course, the cricket is all about belief, the self-belief. Moral was high. But Zimbabwe beating Australia, that gave us a chance to qualify. It was not only Kapil's 175. Not many people know Zimbabwe beating Australia. That's why we qualified for the semi-finals. And of course, semi-finals again. We had a bad start. We restricted England to I think 221, and Sunil and Chika opened the innings. Sunil got out early, but they had a good partnership of 30-40 runs. And then the foundation was laid by Jimmy and Yash. Credit should go to Jimmy and let my friend Yash. They, built that foundation. And then it was me, Kapil, and Kiri or anybody. We just had to go and maintain that run rate. And it so happened that, and mind you, Kapil had asked everybody to pad up and everybody to be ready. But Sunil's advice to Kapil is that don't panic. Let's go by the batting order which we have decided. So it was Kirti was ready. Kapil himself, he had just scored 175. He was in top form. Kirti was, struggling for runs. I had few runs before that game. So, and mind you, that eve of that match, this was Old Trafford. It was 21st June, I remember. 22nd June was semi-final against England. 21st June evening, my mother called and she said that all my life, I have never asked for a birthday gift. Tomorrow is my birthday. So I hope You give me something special. So that was playing in my mind. Again, morning of the match, we sat on the breakfast table. That was not much conversation happening because we were very serious. We were focused, we were tense. And Sunil Gavaskar again came with a newspaper, Guardian, and he showed that see what is written: cakewalk for England, one-sided affair for England. That I think instigated that didn't go well with all of us. And there I decided, sorry to use this word, कि आज बॉब विलिस हो या बॉब विलिस का बाप हो, मैं तोड़ने वाला हूँ. And precisely it happened. Again, my luck was with me. And I was happy that I took India to finals, scoring 50 not out.
It all can't be luck, Sandy. Now, Sandy, the cricketer, makes a foray into movies. How much did you enjoy that experience?
Oh, terrific. The movie didn't do well, but the experience. See, my father told me when I was growing up that life is short, enjoy it, but make sure you know the limits. That's how you will see in my career. I've not only played cricket, I've done so many other roles also. I sang, I cut a disc, I did this movie, I was the editor of the magazine, I do commentary, I did so many other things. And I never had a goal. I said it earlier also. Uh, uh, where I felt that the time was up, I took a decision. But film was also something which happened suddenly. I never ever imagined, never ever dreamt that I will do a film. One day, late Arvind Apte, if you know, our ex-test cricketer, Madhav Apte, late Madhav Apte's
I
younger
met him.
brother, he came and met me at CCI. We were practicing, CCI team was practicing, and he said, there's a offer from Vijay Singh Patwardhan. Vijay Singh Patwardhan happens to be ex-Maharaja of Sangli. His daughter is Bhagyashi Patwardhan, a very well-known face. So he introduced me to Vijay Singh Patwardhan and he narrated the story. And I was excited. Anybody those days, only Sunil and Salim Durrani had acted in movies and they had not done well. So I said, why not? So when I broke the news to my parents, my mother was not happy. My father said, go ahead. And if you can do it, do it. It didn't go well with my supporters, my fans also, because I remember those days, Vijay Merchant, late Vijay Merchant, the great Vijay Merchant, used to have his show on the radio, Cricket with Vijay Merchant. And when I announced that I'm doing a film, he made a comment that Sandeep Patil uh, has joined the films for money. And then my father, who knew Vijay Merchant, they were friends, he said that you have to clarify, because then I took the receipt, the signing amount receipt to Vijay Bhai and showed him it was 101 rupees. And nice of late Vijay Bhai that he clarified that in his next show that I'm sorry, it was not different. I was going through a problem. I had a fracture in my right shoulder. So I was asked to rest. Many people thought that I opted out of West Indies because of the film. That is not the correct thing. I had acromion fracture on my right shoulder and I had to do surgery. So I had a good 3 months. So that was the real story.
Yeah, gradually you realized you're not really going to make a comeback. And then your last hurrah as a player was helping MP become a force in Indian cricket, wasn't it?
Yeah, again, I thank my stars. That's also happened because when I retired in 86, 87 series, uh, I had made up my mind that that's it, enough. I was not good enough to continue. I really don't know the real reasons behind it, but one day it struck me. It was a match against Ranji Trophy champions, which is Mumbai versus Australia. Steve Waugh was there. All the great McDermott, everybody was there. Dean Jones, late Dean Jones was there. And there I scored 69, and I was playing table tennis with Sunil Gavaskar that evening. And late Chinnaswamy was the president. Pami was there, Sunil's wife, Marshnil. She was there, and she broke the news that Sunil Gavaskar and Sandeep Patil dropped, and Riaz Poonawalla of Maharashtra and Alan Sippy of Mumbai were picked in our place. And that was a big shock to me. Shock to me, not because I was dropped for Alan Sippy, but shock to me for Sunil getting dropped for Riaz Poonawalla. And Sunil was also upset. So Sunil said, let's continue playing cricket, table tennis, forget it. After 15 minutes, again the call came. Sunil said that no, the decision has been reversed. Sunil Gavaskar is picked, but Sandeep Patil is dropped. That's where I made up my mind. And in that game only, instead of after getting out after scoring 68 odd runs, instead of coming to the pavilion, I went to the press box and announced. Late Madhuras India was very upset. Our manager then, late Naren Tamani, he was upset. Sunil was upset. They all came rushing, running, and said that, nay, nonsense is talking. I said, no, I made up my mind. And mind you, I had not spoken with my parents. I had not spoken with Deepa, my wife. But that's it, And then there was a match in Delhi, film stars versus cricketers. This happened in '86 after my retirement, some fundraising game. And I was picked to play for Film Stars 11. Amitabh Bachchan was our captain. And their Indian team, it was a 40 over affair. Their Indian team scored something like 350. And when our turn came, I opened with late Madhurav Sindhyaji. And we had a partnership, opening partnership of 106. And WV, his contribution was 4 runs. I had scored 100 in something like 10 overs, not with the anger, but it just happened. And that evening, late Madhurav Sindhya ji said that, Sandeep, you have to come back and play. If you don't want to play top cricket, you have to come back and help the junior teams. And that's how it happened. So again, thanks to Madhurav ji, he gave me this opportunity.
Yeah, it's great stories. Not many people are aware of many things that you revealed now. You took up the role of the head coach of the Indian team then. Then you moved out to Kenya. You had a great passage there, didn't you? You guided them to
Yeah,
the
I think
semi-final
WB, the
World Cup.
mistake I made with Indian team was I was too staunch, too strong, too strict, which didn't go well with the team. And again, I take blame for that. I didn't do a good job. But you learn, you learn from your mistakes. So when I was removed and Madi was appointed, it gave me a chance to think about it, that I had decided to help and do something in coaching. I had done a fairly good job for Madhya Pradesh. And then after a debacle with the Indian team, Kenya, Kenya Cricket Association, they approached me. And by then I was ready that, working with established players and working with players who are trying to establish two different things.
Of
So
course.
I failed as a coach with established players, but here I had a chance, and I had earlier experience with Madhya Pradesh team and the players who were trying to establish. So I did the same thing which I did with the MP team, and it took a while. It didn't happen overnight. The best thing was we had 4 years to prepare ourselves. Between 4 years, we played just 6 ODIs, whereas all the other teams were playing 50, 60 ODIs in a season. But our goal was only to prepare ourselves for the 2003 World Cup. So we had enough time. So it worked well. And instead of giving me credit, I think the credit should go to the players, because they gave their not 100%, but 200%. And I got all the backing from the Kenya Cricket Association.
Let's fast forward. ICL started. You're a part of it. It was supposed to be a godsend for many first-class cricketers, but 1 or 2 years into the venture went off path, didn't it?
I think a great idea, great opportunity for the players who were not making in the first 14 or in the probables. And I really thank the ICL guys for coming out with this idea. And I think it it changed the thinking of BCCI as well. That point of time, BCCI also started thinking, and our Mr. Modi, who was the chairman of IPL then, I think he came out with another brilliant idea supported by BCCI, and now you know what IPL is. Marvelous, platform. Not only marvelous platform, but I think the best tournament after World Cup, ICC World Cup.
Yeah, you came out of ICL, then for a bit of time, you bided your time as well to see as to where you want to go. Then you were given the operations head job at the NCA. Were you able to execute all that you planned?
Yeah, surely. Yeah, so as I said earlier, you think about your wrongdoings, you think about the mistakes you have made, and you learn, you graduate. Uh, by that time, I was ready not to only tackle the youngsters, the under 19s and the women's cricket or the seniors. They were all the seniors used to come for their treatment, for rehab. The camps used to be there. But by then I was ready. And I had a brilliant team. I had a brilliant team of Dinesh Nanavati, who was a batting coach. I had a brilliant in uh, Arun, who was a bowling coach. We had, Sridhar as a fielding coach. We had lovely physios, Patel and Ashish Kaushik. So, see, captain is one and the team is another thing. If you have a good team, you can deliver great things. And again, it worked well. And again, I must thank BCCI for giving me that opportunity and backing not only me, but whatever we planned. All planning was totally backed by BCCI.
And then you moved on to become the selector. Do you think you could have done anything better as a selector? Because it's a very tough job. There's
Oh,
no way
yeah.
anybody
I
can get
think,
it right.
yeah, I mean, that also I never thought that I'll be a selector. One fine day, Mr. Srinivasan, after I was finishing my term as a uh, NCA, as a director, he called me and said that I want you to be a selector, chairman of selectors. I was really taken back. It was a shock. Uh, I wouldn't say pleasant surprise, but that was a shock. I was not ready for the selection job because I never wanted to be selected. I was crossed with selectors many a times, and it's human. Every player, when he gets dropped, he's not happy, whoever the selector is. So I said, why do this when I had done a good job with NC as a director? Why again? But like I said, I like challenges, and my wife supported me. I said, yeah, another opportunity for you. And again, there was a great team. Roger was there, Vikram Rathod was there, Hans was there, Sabha was there. So unless and until you have a good team, we had a good rapport. We had many arguments, we had many fights, but ultimately we are talking about future of Indian cricket. I lost some good friends during my tenure as a chief selector, which happens, which is part of the game. When you select someone, he becomes your fan. When you drop someone, you become enemy to him. It's part and parcel of the game, which is absolutely acceptable. But I think we did a fairly good job. We took some bold decisions, good decisions, and I'm happy that Indian cricket has flourished. Indian cricket is doing very well.
Talking of dropping and getting dropped for the Calcutta Test against Gar's team, did it come as a rude shock to you?
Uh, I got dropped against England, mind you, at Firozshah Kotla after scoring 100 in last test match in Pakistan, and then scoring highest run in both the innings in second test match at Firozshah Kotla. I think I was not expecting that. But it so happened that Kapil Dev also was dropped, and maybe they wanted to balance the issue. How can we just drop Kapil Dev? So I was made a scapegoat. I must accept, but that's part of the game. Not many people get chance to play for India. I got picked. I got chances when I was hit. I got chances where I was not doing well. And here, I played a bad shot and I paid a big price for that. Again, no complaints, no regrets, but it didn't go well for a few days, not few months.
I was going to ask you, who was the collateral damage? You or Kapil Dev?
नहीं, नहीं. Kapil is a dear friend, a great cricketer. You don't drop players like Kapil Dev. You
Of
can drop
course.
Sandeep Patil.
I was
Uh,
just joking. Not that you are one who could be dropped, at the drop of a hat. But that was a very strange decision by what I thought was a great committee between 83 to 87, the selection committee.
yeah, surely. They think about. See, we also dropped in our tenure. Our selection committee dropped Yuvraj Singh, Virendra Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, Gautam Gambhir, you take decisions not because they're your friends. You take decisions. It's your responsibility when you sit in that chair as a selector or a chief selector. Your thinking is about how team will do well, how to build a team for the future. You know, and I think we took a right decision at the right time.
Yeah, that always happens. Either way, you are wrong, or either way, you are right, depending on which lens you are seen through as a selector. Now, you played all the roles that there are to be played, for a cricketer. You are looking at yet another role. You are looking to contest the MCA election. How confident are you of pulling it off?
Yeah, it is not confident. Even I was also a candidate for president's post 3 years back, but I was disqualified because of conflict of interest. The Loda Commission, who had mentioned, and it so happened that there was no conflict because if you are a BCCI employee, if you are on a salary from BCCI, then the conflict of interest comes. I was doing shows for ABP News and Star, but the election commissioner then was wrong, and that's how again, another opportunity. All my well wishers, all the fans and my supporters in Mumbai, they wanted me to come back and try to do a good job, which I'm standing for the post. It's still the elections are announced on 20th. What will happen is another thing. But today what I am is, of course, because of Mumbai cricket. And if I can give back something, even 1% back to the game and back to Mumbai cricket, I'll be very happy.
Among all the roles that you had to execute over a period of time, which was the toughest?
All roles were different. I cannot pinpoint which was toughest. Uh, the toughest is when you face fast bowlers, when you play for India, when you carry expectations on the ground and fulfill those expectations. That is, I think, the toughest part in every cricketer's career, I would say.
Okay, you said that bad story was apocryphal. It didn't happen. Now I know for a fact, but the boys in Kirkcaldy mentioned to me several times that you filmed Kabhi Ajnabi The for their benefit a lot of times. In fact, some of them said they picked up a bit of Hindi because of that.
True, because you followed me. WV, you followed me, and Gus Logie also played, I believe, after
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah,
So it was
correct.
a good, it was a great experience for me playing first time. I had, of course, played in the Middlesex League for Edmonton for 2 years, and then Kakardi. I will never forget. What a beautiful place! What a lovely people. Scottish
Of course,
people.
the boys are absolutely in love with you. They would talk to me about Sandy every day when I went to the ground. Unfortunately, that club doesn't exist anymore.
I know,
Once,
I know.
so that's unfortunate. Now, finally, I want to ask you this: how tough was it to coach Chirag to play your role, to prepare
Ah,
him for the role?
well, when Chirag, see, every father wants his his sons to carry on what your father did. My wife was more than me. My wife was very keen, and the fight is still on. WE fight is still on because when I saw Chirag first time, I think he was in seventh or eighth standard in his school, King George High School. He came and said that, Baba, I want to play cricket. I said, why not? So I bought all the equipment for him. And first day, mind you, WV, first day living for the practice session, the way he held the bat, I said, Chirag, you are not going to play cricket. He did try. See, W, when you're a coach, when you've played cricket at the highest level, when you've seen the great players playing against and with you, and I was a coach also for under 19 India A, Indian team, Oman team, Kenya team, Madhya Pradesh team. Coach should know if a player, if a boy has that, that's something special which registers in a coach's mind that he has something special. When my first, when I noticed that Chirag, and he thanks me today My wife is still in fight with me that you coach पूरा दुनिया को कोचिंग किया अपने बेटे को कोच नहीं कर सका useless coach. My second son also, in fact, he also wanted to play cricket. He tried his hand in tennis also. But both today are very happy that I took that decision rather than promoting or pushing someone to play cricket. नहीं नहीं खेलना ही पड़ेगा. We have seen Three Idiots movie. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work well. A boy should do what he wants to do. He was too young to decide, but today, he's very, very well settled down. He's done a few films. He got a fabulous chance to work with Kabir Khan and Ranveer as Kapil Dev. So I think he should thank his stars, like I thank my stars for playing few games for India. He should thank his stars, and he thanks me also for making that decision.
One thing for sure, Sandy is a well brought up kid. I've interacted with him. Lovely guy, well mannered, very polite. And of course,
All
you
all
both had
credit
a
goes
lot
to
to
my
do.
wife, Deepa.
I didn't want to say that, Sandy. I didn't want to say that. I wanted you to say that. Anyway, thanks a lot, Sandy. Thanks for your time. And really grateful to you for accepting so readily and being your normal self. And wish you all the very best for your upcoming election.
Thanks, WV. Stay in touch.
I will.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. That was Sandeep Patil for you, as witty and as honest as always. I'll catch up with you another week's time. Until then, stay safe and take care.